Michael Saylor is talking his book, all right? The guy sells stock and pref shares.
Bitcoin now quoted at $101,000 per coin. It's not been doing well recently.
What's up, future millionaires? Welcome back to the channel. I'm absolutely pumped to be here with you today. No matter where you're watching from around this amazing world of ours, I hope you're having an incredible day. Now listen up, because we need to talk about something huge happening with XRP right now. I've been scrolling through X lately, and I keep seeing all these Bitcoin maximalists spreading the same tired old narrative. They're saying things like, oh, Ripple's just going to print more XRP whenever they want. But here's the thing that's got me fired up. They couldn't be more wrong. Here's what you need to understand. When the music stops, whatever XRP you're holding is all you're ever going to have. We're talking about one of the rarest digital assets on the planet. And get this, David Schwartz himself came out and made it crystal clear. There is literally no way to create more XRP. The code doesn't even exist to do it. The supply is 100% locked in stone. Zero chance of inflation. Zero chance of dilution. Now here's the crazy part that's blowing my mind. Remember when everyone thought 100 billion XRP was way too much? Well, guess what? People are starting to wake up and realize that 100 billion might not be nearly enough for what's coming.
And hey, check this out. I bet you've seen this iconic image before. You know the one I'm talking about, right? That little fish jumping straight out of the Bitcoin bowl and diving into the XRP bowl. If you've been in the XRP game for any amount of time, this picture has probably crossed your timeline more than once. Well, future millionaires, I'm telling you, I think we're watching this exact scenario play out in real time right now. We're literally seeing massive amounts of money flowing out of those Bitcoin ETFs. And here's the kicker. A big chunk of that capital is XRP its way into XRP ETFs. It's like that fish finally made the jump, and now we're seeing the smart money follow suit. This isn't just theory anymore. This is actually happening before our eyes.
Okay, this is absolutely wild. I had to share this picture that Michael Saylor posted in a video just yesterday, and when I saw it, my jaw literally dropped. So get this, isn't the captain supposed to go down with the ship? That's like Captain 101, right? But look at this picture. There's Saylor sitting on a life raft, basically abandoning Bitcoin. I mean, what does that tell you? If you're a retail investor still holding Bitcoin, this image alone should have you running for the exits. And here's why this is so important. I've been hammering this point home for months now. When it comes time to sell, you are not going to beat Saylor to the door. Think about it, future millionaires. If the biggest Bitcoin cheerleader on the planet is already planning his escape route, what does that say about where this is all heading? The writing is on the wall, and that life raft? That's not confidence. That's preparation for what's coming next.
Listen to me very carefully, future millionaires. You're going to end up being the exit liquidity. That's the harsh reality. But don't just take my word for it. I want you to hear what Kevin O'Leary had to say about this. Now, he dropped this knowledge bomb a while back, but honestly, it makes way more sense today than it did then. So buckle up and listen closely to what Mr. Wonderful has to say about this whole situation.
Michael Saylor is talking his book, all right? The guy sells stock and pref shares and debt and then buys Bitcoin with it. The stock trades at twice the value of the inherent Bitcoin. That smells like something that ain't going to work long term. Just saying. I like the guy, but it has nothing to do with strategic reserve of Bitcoin, which will never happen because we'll never get buy-off on a bipartisan basis.
So he was breaking down this whole strategic Bitcoin reserve idea, and here's the thing. Even Kevin O'Leary knows it's complete fantasy. It's never actually going to happen, future millionaires. Here's what they really said when you strip away all the hype. Hey, that Bitcoin stash the US government already has sitting around? Yeah, we're just not going to sell it. And if we happen to seize some more from drug dealers or hackers, sure, we'll toss that in the pile too. But here's the kicker, and this is what everyone's missing. They are never going to take your hard-earned taxpayer dollars and use them to buy more Bitcoin. Not happening. It's basically like saying, we'll keep the loose change we find in our couch cushions, but we're not going shopping for more. That's not exactly the massive government backing that Bitcoin bros are hoping for, is it?
Whoa, hold up, future millionaires. This is massive news. BlackRock clients just dumped $473.72 million worth of Bitcoin. We're talking about the largest outflow in US dollars since these ETFs even launched. But here's the million-dollar question. Why is this happening right now? I'll tell you exactly why. All those big institutions, all of BlackRock's heavyweight clients, they were already looking beyond Bitcoin. Think about it.
They basically just dipped their toes in the water with that Bitcoin ETF to test things out. But now there's something new on the horizon, something way better. And guess what they want? They want that instead. And you better believe BlackRock is paying very close attention to where their clients' money is flowing. That's exactly why, mark my words, we're about to see BlackRock launch a spot XRP ETF. They're following the money, and the smart money is moving out of Bitcoin and into the future of digital assets.
And even the mainstream media seems to be shifting now as well. Take a listen to this.
Bitcoin now quoted at $101,000 per coin. It's not been doing well recently. Kevin knows something about this. My question is, why are stablecoins doing so well and Bitcoin's not?
Well, to give you the tone of this year's Cantor Conference, where really is ground zero for policy for the next 18 months on crypto, on the Tuesday Founders Dinner, it became clear the reason stablecoins are of such interest, and some even speculates taking the bloom off Bitcoin itself, is they're now law. There's law backing it up. There's policy. That's called the Genius Act. But what's really driving it is people are seeing AI combining with phones so that retailers like Walmart or McDonald's or Target, you're just going to be talking to your phone and the transaction goes right into the retailer. You walk in and pick up your order without doing anything else. The challenge we have is we don't have any blockchain fast enough to process millions of orders, but the payment system is going to be stablecoin.
But guess what, future millionaires? We actually do have a blockchain that's fast enough. King Valix absolutely nailed it when he pointed this out. AI doesn't have a blockchain that can handle the millions of orders it needs to process. But wait a minute. What about the Interledger protocol in XRP? Stephen Thomas called this over a decade ago. We're talking about a system that can process trillions, not millions, trillions of transactions per second. Yeah, we've already got that technology locked and loaded. And here's where it gets really exciting. Just wait until ILP goes live everywhere. I'm telling you right now, micropayments are about to absolutely explode. Picture this. Instead of getting paid once a month, people are going to get paid every minute, every hour, however they want. And those annoying monthly subscriptions you hate, kiss them goodbye. Everything's going pay-per-view, pay as you go. We're literally stepping into this new era right now, and this is exactly why smart money is looking past Bitcoin. Like I keep saying, Bitcoin is slowly but surely becoming completely irrelevant. The future is already here, and it's running on XRP.
And then this bombshell drops. Why is this coming out right now? So check this out. Leaked emails just revealed that Jeffrey Epstein's money was actually financing Bitcoin core development. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. You know what's crazy? I called this out about a year ago, maybe even longer. It might have been in one of my earlier videos. I said Bitcoin had some seriously dark connections, and man, the comment section absolutely exploded. People were like, you're just salty because Bitcoin's pumping and XRP isn't. But that completely missed the point. I wasn't even talking about price. I was talking about what Bitcoin is actually being used for behind the scenes. And here's what's got me thinking. Why are they releasing this information now? We're already seeing all these major institutions pulling their money out of Bitcoin, and then BAM! More damaging revelations keep dropping. It's like watching them hammer nail after nail into Bitcoin's coffin, one scandal at a time. The timing can't be a coincidence, future millionaires. When the house of cards starts falling, everything comes out.
Holy cow, future millionaires! Are you seeing this? A massive 149 million XRP just flew off exchanges in what feels like the blink of an eye. This is huge, and here's why you need to pay attention. We're looking at a major supply shock that's about to hit. Think about this. There's only 3.8 billion XRP left sitting on exchanges right now. When supply gets this tight, we're talking about the perfect storm for some absolutely explosive price movements. It's basic economics, right? When everyone's pulling their XRP off exchanges and holding it tight, and there's barely any left for people to buy, well, you can probably guess what happens to the price when demand starts heating up. This is the kind of supply squeeze that can create those jaw-dropping price spikes we all love to see.
There's actually even less today. It's under 3 billion.
But check this out, future millionaires. Every single day, we're seeing these articles popping up everywhere. The big question everyone's asking, are we about to witness the biggest scarcity event in crypto history, and is it happening with XRP? Here's the thing. Once all the XRP disappears from exchanges, we're talking about lightning-fast price changes.
And that's not even counting all the XRP that's getting locked up in those ETFs. Now, I always see people in the comments saying, oh, Ripple will just dump more from escrow. But here's what they don't understand. You can't just snap your fingers and release tokens. Those unlocks happen on a schedule, first of every month, like clockwork. Here's how it works. 1 billion tokens get unlocked, but then Ripple typically locks 700 to 800 million of them right back up. So we're only talking about 200 to 300 million actually hitting the market. But here's the kicker. These ETFs, they could absolutely devour billions of those tokens in no time. We're talking about institutional appetite that could swallow up months of releases in days. That's exactly why I still believe XRP ETFs are going to absolutely crush Bitcoin ETFs in performance. The math just makes sense. Is it time to buy XRP? Analyst says get in before the switch happens. Listen up, future millionaires. It's always a good time to buy XRP. And if you're buying right now, you're still getting in ahead of the institutional tsunami that's coming. Here's the reality check. Once that massive institutional wave hits XRP, it's game over for retail investors like us. You'll be watching from the sidelines wishing you'd acted sooner. When institutions finally pile in, I'm telling you, prices are going to skyrocket so fast it'll make your head spin. But here's the beautiful thing. We're still in the early stages. Can you believe that? We're still waiting on the Clarity Act to pass. We're still waiting for more companies to add XRP to their treasuries. And trust me, that's coming in a big way. And get this, tokenization hasn't even hit its scale yet. That's still on the horizon, and when it does, wow. So here's my message to you. You are not too late. Not until that institutional floodgate opens. If you're buying XRP today, you're still early to the party. You're still positioning yourself ahead of the biggest players in the game. Don't let this opportunity slip through your fingers, future millionaires. Ripple CTO David Schwartz just dropped some serious knowledge, future millionaires. He said there's literally no tax on the XRP ledger. But here's what blows my mind. People actually think XRP has no real value unless some middleman is getting rich off it. How crazy is that? So David Schwartz broke it down perfectly. He said there really is no tax at all. You can use XRP to issue assets, trade them, create NFTs, make payments, whatever you want. The only thing that even comes close to a tax is those tiny transaction fees and reserves. But that's just to stop spam attacks. Here's the beautiful part. The ledger is a public good that belongs to all of us. Nobody has any special right to charge you for using it. It's not owned or controlled by XRP holders. Holding XRP just gives you, well, XRP. That's it. Think about it like this. It's basically Bitcoin that somehow magically works without those crazy energy costs and transaction fees. Plus, it supports stablecoins, a built-in exchange, NFTs, and tons more features. I honestly don't get how people think somebody has to be getting rich off something for it to have real utility. XRP is about to be utilized all around the world, and I'm telling you right now, the day those banks come out of their testing phase on the private ledger and go live, if you're holding XRP, you could literally join the 1% overnight. That's not hype, that's the reality of what's coming. You could literally get that wealthy that fast. But speaking of crypto making headlines, check this out. The US Department of Justice just went after North Korea's massive illicit money operation and seized even more cryptocurrency. This is huge news, future millionaires. And here's why this matters for all of us. Now here's what's really interesting, future millionaires. They said they seized more crypto. But guess what they actually grabbed? Tether. Good old USDT. We're talking about $15 million in USDT that just got confiscated. And this adds to all the other digital asset seizures by US authorities lately. But here's what's got people talking. How do these seizures tie into the US plans for crypto reserves? And here's the pattern that keeps jumping out at me. It's always Tether. It's always Bitcoin. You almost never see XRP or other cryptocurrencies getting caught up in all this shady stuff. That should tell you something right there. Now, I've been seeing some wild speculation today, and I want to be crystal clear, this is pure speculation. But people are suggesting that some of those original Bitcoin whales who are dumping their stacks right now might have connections to, well, let's just say, certain controversial lists. I can't confirm any of that, obviously. But here's what I can say. There were definitely a lot of high-profile people who got into Bitcoin super early at dirt cheap prices. And let's be honest, Not all of that early adoption was for legitimate purposes. The writing's on the wall when you look at what keeps getting seized. Crypto's long-term fundamentals strong despite market rout. So right now, future millionaires, the big narrative everyone's pushing is this. The 4-year cycle is dead, and Bitcoin just goes up forever. But listen to what this analyst is saying, and I think he's onto something. He's talking about how those 4-year cycles are based on a completely bygone era of crypto. And you know what? I totally agree. Ever since those Bitcoin ETFs launched and we got this new administration, we've entered a totally different market structure. New players, new dynamics, completely new reasons why people buy and sell. He thinks we've actually been in a bear market for almost 6 months and we're almost through it. The setup for crypto has never been stronger, and he's absolutely right about that. But here's where I disagree with everyone else. It's not about Bitcoin anymore. Everyone keeps screaming, 4-year cycle is over, Bitcoin to the moon forever. But that's not what's happening. In my opinion, Bitcoin is actually losing relevance, and fast. It's losing out to stablecoins. It's losing because it has zero real utility. The whole narrative is crumbling before our eyes. And get this, we now have tokenized gold coming onto other networks. That completely destroys the whole digital gold story. Bitcoin isn't even a good store of value anymore. This cycle proved it. Every time there was tariff talk, Bitcoin crashed. Every crisis around the world, Bitcoin tanked. Now people are saying, hedge against the dollar, sell your dollars, buy Bitcoin. But here's my take. If I'm getting rid of my dollars, I'd rather put that money into something that's already recognized as the future. XRP, XLM, HBAR, XDC, QNT, IOTA, Algo, Flare. I know these are the future. Why would I throw my money into Bitcoin when I look at it and think, what's it actually going to be used for in a year, 2 years? What happens when quantum computers arrive? What if Tether collapses? There's way too much risk with Bitcoin right now. I think they're dropping all this Jeffrey Epstein news about Bitcoin because they know the end is near for Bitcoin's rise. This might be the last cycle you see these price levels. Sure, it'll probably stick around at 10K, 20K, maybe 30K, but this narrative won't hold much longer. When institutions are already shifting away, it's time for retail to do the same. You're not going to make real money buying Bitcoin today. Think about it. Even if Bitcoin hits 200K, you maybe double your money. But take that same cash, put it in XRP, and if it pulls a 20x, 40x, or 50x, now you're talking life-changing money, real financial freedom. There's a massive difference in where we go from here. I believe the 4-year cycle is over, and the utility cycle is coming. There's a real chance this happens during this alt season. But until it does, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together, future millionaires. All right, that's a wrap on this video. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. I'll
See you in the next one. Have an amazing night.